Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Pickups videos. This is actually some more internet pickup videos, and I want to talk a little bit about some pointers, maybe some things that might help you, a autograph collector, out when you're searching eBay for autographs. Well, the first thing I want to talk about is, do you know how you put stuff in your watch list and you're like, well, it's just not quite there. It's just not at that sweet spot, I like to call it, to purchase something. Well, these first items that I'm about to show you I've been watching these for probably a year. That's how long these were in my eBay watch list. And the seller would occasionally put discounts on them. He would, put like 50% off. He would put 60% off, and still even at 60%, I just wasn't right there to buy them. Well, finally, the seller put them at 80% off. And I'm like, 80% off? Well, that's really hard to pass these up for 80% off. So I finally pulled the trigger. I was able to get these together all in one lot, and it came out to like $21 shipped for what I'm about to show you. These are kind of unique because I think they only made these for a short period of time. And somebody may be able to correct me on this that collects Hall of Fame baseball autographs a little better, but these are not the official program per se or yearbook of the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Because if you look on the inside, it says order now to receive your I guess I should show it to you. Order now to receive your 1998 yearbook and induction video. Yeah, video. So this is only, like a small handout, I guess you would say. Probably, like a freebie that they gave out. And this is actually signed by former executive Lee McPhail Jr. And as you can see, this was when he was inducted. The other gentleman, I'm pretty sure Larry Doby was not around at the time. I definitely know George Davis wasn't around during the induction. Let me check on Joe Rogan. Rogan may not have been alive either at that time. Actually, I do believe Larry Doby was alive at this point. Yes. Yeah, Larry Doby was alive when this happened. However, Joe Rogan and George Davis were not. So the only other person I could possibly get to sign this is Don Sutton. And he does sign TTM. However, this is one of those conundrum things like, do you want to risk losing this Lee McPhail autograph by mailing it to Don Sutton? Well, one would probably say no. But here's the dilemma I have. I don't have just one. I have two. Oh, and just wait. I have three. So now it's like, oh, geez. Do I send one of these three Lee McPhails in the mail to Don Sutton? Or do I just hold out and hope that one day I actually see Don Sutton and get him to sign it? So that's the conundrum I'm at. So originally, this 3-count lot of these signed programs was like well over $30-something. Okay, well, this seller knocked them down 80%. I got these for like $7, I think, for the lot. $7 or $8 for all three of them, which is just crazy. I actually wound up paying shipping for just about as much as one of the lots that I bought. That's how crazy low cheap this was. Now, the next thing I want to show you is not only do I have the 1998 version, but I have the 1997 version as well, signed by Phil Niekro. And Tommy Lasorda is the only living person that could possibly sign that, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to see him anytime soon. But just like the last lot, I didn't get 3 this time, but I got 2. So 2 Phil Niekro signed. I don't even know what to call these induction day program, maybe. I mean, it's like, you know, something they handed out at the dinner, or, you know, or at the signing, maybe, for these guys to sign. Anyways, so in total for all 5 of these, okay, for the Lee McPhails, the Phil Necros, $21 shipped. $21 shipped, which makes these come out to about $5 a piece. Okay. Before shipping, even cheaper than that. So, going back to my eBay tip is sometimes if you just watch something for long enough, now the price will come down so it gets in your sweet spot. Now, the risk with that is somebody else may buy it. I'm pretty sure anybody that's watching this video that collects autographs or baseball Hall of Fame autographs would have jumped at this deal. I mean, maybe not. Maybe you don't like these type of items signed by Hall of Famers. I'm more of a collector of, if it's signed, I don't care what it is. It can be a piece of paper for all I care, if it's got a Hall of Famer's autograph on it. So, anyways, this is the first group of items I wanted to share with you with tips on eBay. Just sometimes you don't always have to pull the trigger. You can be one of those people that just really drags your feet until it hits your sweet spot, and bam, you get it. All right, we'll move on to the next item. All right, so this next tip I'm going to give you is a tip that is pretty much common sense. But if you are ever looking for memorabilia, some of the good hot spots to look at in person, and I found even on the internet, is pawn shops, okay? Well, pawn shops, obviously I'm not going to explain what a pawn shop is to you, but pawn shops are there to sell things, would be the best way to put it. So sometimes they can be negotiable, meaning I have had some really good luck contacting pawn shops when it comes to sports memorabilia through eBay. And sometimes it's hard to know if it's a pawn shop or not. And the reason I knew this one was because it literally said it on the picture of the items. Joe Schmo's pawn shop, like on every picture that they took, so they could prove that they had it in stock, I guess, and they weren't using a stock photo or whatever. Well, I came to the eBay seller's listing page by simply looking for another item, and this was a vintage 1960s era set that I had my eyes on for a while, and I'm going to share that with you in another video, because to me, what I picked up for the price I picked it up for, it deserves its own video. That's just my opinion, so I'm going to leave you in a little suspense. But I started shopping through the person's eBay listings, and I was going to buy the set regardless. So I contacted the seller after I saw this item, and I said, hey, I'm going to buy this set from you. Would you be willing to sell this item? You know, I'm going to make an offer, because it was a make an offer listing. Would you be willing to sell the 2 items for this price? The gentleman got back to me, said, yeah, absolutely. So, to keep the suspense no longer going, I picked up, and this came from the Chicago area, an official Wilson basketball, and you can see the Larry O'Brien signature on there. And again, I don't think this is game used. This is probably more of like a store-bought thing. You know, you could go to your sporting goods store back in the 1970s, and this would be the ball that you would get, just like if you went and bought one now, with the current commissioner's name on there. But this is a 1979-1980 Chicago Bulls team signed ball. Now, the entire ball is not signed by the entire team, but this is what made me buy it. Number 1, one of the greatest ever, Artis Gilmore. And that is a huge signature, as in size, but I guess also he's a big dude also. But this is a beautiful Artis Gilmore signature on that panel. He took up the whole panel, which is perfectly fine with me. And that was what really attracted me to this. Well, after I started looking at it, there was this former Chicago Bull that got his first coaching gig with the Bulls after his playing career. Well, right next to the Larry O'Brien is Hall of Famer Jerry Sloan. Now, Sloan was, I believe, an assistant on the 79-80 team. He was not the head coach. He was the head coach the following year. But this is Hall of Famer Jerry Sloan's autograph on potentially his first coaching position. Not head coaching, but assistant coaching position in basketball. So that dates back to the Hall of Fame career beginning for Jerry Sloan as a coach. And he was a pretty good player too. Now, a lot of you are looking at this like, well, how do you know it's 1979-80? Well, some of the lesser known name guys on here, and I'm going to go through those in a second, were only there for that season. So I can't remember which one it is, but I was able to figure out, well, it's 79-80 because that was the only year the guy played there. But I'm going to point out another highlight on the ball, and then we'll go through all of them. And it is actually signed by a rookie that season, Reggie Theus. This is former UNLV great, Chicago Bull great, Sacramento King great, etc. Or Kansas City King, Sacramento King, I don't remember which, Orlando Magic, Reggie Theus. And if you guys don't know who Reggie Theus is, you can definitely look up his information on Google, but you could argue that he belongs in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame as well. He had a career, and this is his rookie year. That's his rookie signature. All right, sorry about that. My phone rang while I was sitting recording this. So, in total, this has two Hall of Famers on it, Gilmore and Sloan, and a Reggie Theus rookie autograph, which one day could be a Hall of Famer. So, we're going to go through a few more of these names. This is Mickey Johnson, not Magic Johnson. That would have been nice, huh? Yeah, that's Magic Johnson, right, guys? Uh-huh. No, but Mickey Johnson, who was a very good player also during his era. This is Wilbur Holland, who was also a very good player on those Chicago Bulls teams. Unfortunately, that team just wasn't really good. It had a lot of good players, but they didn't have any success. As a matter of fact, the coach got fired, I want to say, during the season, during the 79-80 season, which is what got Jerry Sloan the full-time job the next year. It also has Indiana Hoosier great Scott May, and I recently got him back in the last year through the mail, so I was very happy to see him on there because he didn't play in the NBA very long. Also, this guy really took up the side panel of the ball. I mean, I almost have to zoom out to show you all that. But that is former Chicago Bull John Mingolt, and I really don't know much about him, but you can obviously see Mingelt there at the end. And I was like, who would do that when they were signing a team ball? I mean, what is that about? That's just crazy. So, don't know what you're thinking there, John, but okay. And finally, I think that's all of them. I think there's one more on here. And I'm not really sure who that is. Mark or Matt? I'm going to look that up really quick. I have the roster right here next to me. And that is Mark Landsberger. And this was his first year in the league. Or second year in the league. So I'm not really sure who Mark Landsberger is. Maybe somebody from that watched the Bulls back then does. But in total, okay, I'm going to tell you what I paid for this. The guy had a buy it now listing of $40 for this ball. I offered him $29 and he took it. $29 for this 1979-1980 signed basketball. by Artis Gilmore and Jerry Sloan and Reggie Theus. So I was able to bundle this along with the other item that I'm going to share in a different video. I was able to bundle this along with that set for $45 shipped. Now this basketball, I got the box sitting right over here, costs like 14 bucks to mail in itself. So this ball, it cost $14 to get this ball to me. And the other set of cards. The cards were nothing. I mean, it was basically a deck of cards. There was like 50 cards. So for $15, the guy actually only got $30 take home, and that's not including all the fees that eBay got from him as well. So in closing, I hope you guys like this little pickup. I've run a little bit longer than I wanted to with this video, and that's why I chose not to share that other item. It deserves a video in itself because I'm going to probably talk for 15 minutes about that item. So what do you guys think? Anytime you see a Larry O'Brien basketball, that just floods back some old memories. You know, they do name it the Larry O'Brien Trophy for a reason, because he was the commissioner of basketball for a long time. And I want to say, like I said, there are some tips that you guys can have when searching on eBay. You know, I've always had great luck with pawn shops that I find on eBay because they just want to get rid of their stuff. They don't really care what it's worth. I mean, I don't know what the value of this would be, but I know it's 30 bucks. I know that much with these two Hall of Famers. So, anyways, that's one tip. The second tip is don't always worry about buying something if it's not quite in your sweet spot. Going back to the signed programs, you can always sit on something for a couple months, 6 months, a year, and the buyer might just let you make an offer, or it'll just come to a drastic decrease of 80%. You just can't resist. So thanks for watching. I look forward to your comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.